G'day guys, we've got our brand new Toyota 300 Series Landcruiser and we've just unboxed the GVM upgrade from Jmacx Offroad Solutions. I'm going to take you through this kit and break it down part by part to show you what's included in a Jmacx GVM upgrade for the 300 Series Landcruiser. Now Jmacx are offering a couple of different variants. We've got a 3800 GVM or a 4200, and we've got a 2-inch lift or a 3-inch lift. So depending on the exact kit you purchase, the parts will vary slightly. However, this is going to give you a rough idea to show you what's included. This particular kit is a 3-inch lift with the 3800 kilo GVM. I've got most of the rear parts on this side and the front parts on that side. So we'll start with the rear coil springs. These are a heavy duty Jmacx coil spring, which are load rated to suit your requirement. So depending on whether you've got that 3800 or the 4200 kilo GVM, and also taking into consideration your personal load carrying requirements as to what you do with the vehicle, we have various coil spring rates options available. So this here is set up for a car that's going to be driven around, it'll do a bit of camping, but it's not going to be too heavily loaded and it's not going to do much towing. To go inside those coil springs, we've got some airbag helpers. These give us a little bit of flexibility to help with ride comfort and load carrying. When you're driving around empty, you can deflate most of the air out of the bags so that you're just riding on the spring and that ride comfort is suitable. If you are loading up heavy or you're going to be doing some towing, you can utilize these bags, put some pressure in, and it's going to give additional load support to the coil springs, which is going to help you to carry heavier loads without compromising the handling or without the rear of the vehicle sagging. Moving down the front here, we've got 3 replacement suspension arms. We've got a pair of the lower trailing arms. These get replaced in the kit. These arms are a heavy duty arm to upgrade from factory, and they're also adjustable, so we can correctly set the positioning of that diff and get all of the angles correct. We've also got an adjustable panhard rod. This is because as we lift the vehicle, the rear diff is going to track sideways based on the length of the factory panhard rod. So by replacing it with an adjustable length panhard rod, we can adjust that length, fine tune where the diff sits, and get it perfectly centered underneath the rear of the vehicle. Over here, we've got the Alpha shocks. So this kit is available with the Alpha manuals or the Alpha electric. They're both the same shock design. They're both a 2.5-inch remote res shock. They're both adjustable. The main difference between the two is how that adjustment is done and the active control. The manual shocks just have a simple manual adjuster on the end of the reservoir, whereas the electric shocks have an in-cab adjustment on a screen with a dial and some buttons to fine-tune them how you want. They also have active control, so as you're driving the vehicle, as the inertia changes with body roll and corrugations and bumps and braking, the shocks actually are working all the time, and there's minute adjustments happening to help with that handling and ride comfort. We've gone with the electric shocks on this vehicle just to try them out, see what we think, and give you guys some feedback. We do have these same shocks in the electric version fitted to our dual cab with the Jmacx 4495, the 79 series. We've had fantastic results and they work quite well. If you're after a little bit more of a budget conscious option, we do have the manual option, which is fitted to our display single cab. And again, can't fault them, you just don't get that active control and you don't have the flexibility of the in-cab adjustment. So over here, we've got our front coilover assembly, which is height adjustable to suit the height in the front. And then we've got our Ironman ProForge upper control arms. We've been using these for quite a while now on the 200 series, really happy with them. A strong, simple arm, a good OE style ball joint, and that allows us to get those wheel alignment specs back where they need to be with the lifted height of the vehicle. We've got a couple other bits and pieces. We've got our remote reservoir mounts for the front and the rear. They're a factory sort of style fitment, so there's no modifications or custom brackets, they just bolt straight in. We've got the sheathing to go over top of the airbags to protect it from sticks and stones, stuff like that. We've got some adjustable sway bar lengths, which are just replacement ones to get there instead of the factory ones. And then over here, we've got all of the wiring, which is required to run those electric Alpha shocks. So that, guys, is a pretty good breakdown on the 3800 kilo Jmacx kit. The main difference between this and the 4200 is the rear diff housing. So a 4200 GVM is all of these parts, plus a replacement rear diff housing, which is fabricated by Jmacx. This gives us a higher rear axle capacity, which as a result then gives you a higher GVM and allows you to be heavily loaded due to that higher payload. A couple things to note with the Jmacx GVM upgrade are the legalities with the lift and tyres. So some of the other GVM upgrades on the market that are a little bit more of a simpler option are only actually compliant with the standard rims and tyres, whereas these are legal with the bigger wheels and tyres. We do need to select the correct size and the correct load rating and also the correct offset, but at least you've got that option for the bigger wheel and tyre. Axle capacities is the next one. A lot of times with a big GVM, there's not enough rear axle load capacity, and therefore you can't actually utilise that GVM when you load the vehicle without exceeding the rear axle capacity. The third thing is the maintained tow capacity, or GCM. Some of the simple GVM upgrade solutions on the market that are just a spring and shock upgrade will give you a small increase of GVM, but you may still be over GCM if you're towing a big van or a boat or something like that. With these Jmacx kits, we're able to maintain a full brake tow capacity on top of our GVM so that you won't have any GCM dramas. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight to the Jmacx GVM upgrade for the 300 Series Landcruiser. If you are interested, you have a 300 Series on the way, or if you have any other questions about GVMs for this vehicle or others, feel free to get in touch with our sales team or visit our website where we've got a whole heap of beautiful information about GVM upgrades.